If you're like me, there's been times in your business and your entrepreneurial journey where marketing has felt like it's stalled out or stopped and it's not working as effectively as it used to. So, on today's show, I'm going to share with you why your marketing is probably stalled and how you can fix it. So, stay tuned and I'll break it all down for you. All this week, I've been asking for some feedback and input. So I've got one more ask for you this week. And I would like to know, do you prefer longer style content? Like, should I go into longer depth and do longer style shows that are 10, 15, 20 minutes or even longer? Or have you enjoyed what I've done in the last few weeks of just shorter content, quick actionable tips? I want to make sure that this show really serves you well. So if you could please take a moment and just share that in the comments down below, or reach out to me at businessmarketingengine.com. That would mean the world to me, because I want to make sure that this show really serves you well and gives you the tools, the strategies, everything you need to truly build an engine that builds your business. So as we're thinking about marketing, oftentimes our marketing stalls out. And if your business has relied on older methods of marketing that you haven't updated, you will probably see a decline over time. Now, I'm assuming that most of us, and everybody watching today and everybody listening to this probably doesn't rely on yellow pages advertising anymore. There are probably still a few niches where there's performance there, but imagine if, for the majority of us, at least probably the vast majority of us, imagine if you were still relying on yellow pages advertising. If you were, you would obviously have gone out of business, because I was shocked the other day, and I haven't gotten this a long time, but I got a yellow pages book the other day, and it was like less than a quarter inches thick. And I feel bad for the business owners that are paying to be in there, because it went from here to the trash can. There was nothing interesting about it. There was nothing unique about it. And it's just not a marketing channel that performs as well as other channels now. So that's a pretty obvious thing, that we're not going to use something that's dying or going away. Like newspapers are shrinking, so there's only a few of them that actually produce results. Yellow pages, are pretty much dead, if not completely dead. So those are obvious extreme examples. But if you're still relying on a marketing strategy or method from 3 years ago or 5 years ago, then you're probably still going to see a decline in that method, because what happens is the consumers in your industry, the folks you want to serve, your clients, your customers, your audience, when they see something over and over, it's no longer new, it gets worn out, and other companies either just wear it out or straight out abuse it, and it becomes an untrusted approach for marketing. So when you rely on old styles of marketing, or you're not intentional about updating the way that you market, you're going to see a decline over time. A couple of weeks ago, to share a story kind of about what we're talking about today, I had the opportunity, which I'm super grateful for. I was invited to be at a mastermind where there was over $1 billion of revenue annually in the room. There were about 40 people. I think we were about 40, no more than 50, but I think there were about 40 people at this mastermind event. And combined, there was $1 billion of annual revenue in there. And there was this really interesting theme that came up from all the guest speakers, from the conversations I had one-on-one. And since then, I've done more research and training around this, because it's come up for me a lot in the last year or so, and this really confirmed it for me. But today's consumers, they're looking to have a conversation and to be educated. And so I'm going to break that down for you a little bit so you can start to think differently about your marketing. In today's world, right in our hand, we have instant access to billions and billions, probably trillions of pieces of information about what you do in your business, how you serve your customers, the process that should be followed, the pitfalls, the challenges, the good things, the bad things. That's super accessible for everybody. And so when we think about that, our customer base, our industry, our audience, they already have access to a lot of information, but it's not always accurate. And the people that are sharing that information don't always come from the perspective of how do I just educate and serve my audience. Sometimes it's just straight sales stuff, and that doesn't really work well. Sometimes it's really light, non-useful content whatever it might be. And if we're taking that approach, then it's not going to serve people well, but they're still going to be looking at that information. But consumers today are highly educated and have access to a ton of information. And so that's the first thing to keep in mind is the audience that you're trying to serve, the more that you educate them on your process, your way of doing things with as much transparency and accuracy as you can give them, the more they're going to trust you, because you can become the authority in their mind and in their world and in their space when it comes to what you do and how you serve them. The second thing to keep in mind is that our sales pages, our email marketing, our direct mail, our radio, our TV, anything you're doing, any mix of marketing that you're doing, it really needs to come from a place of being conversational with your prospect. And the simple way to think about how to do that is think about the last few really successful sales conversations you had with, somebody that became your client, and think about the questions that they asked, think about how the conversation flowed, and make sure that in your marketing messaging, you're taking that same very conversational approach. When you take that approach, what it allows you to do is think about, okay, if I was having a live face-to-face conversation with a prospective client, what are the things that they would ask me? How would I respond to that? How would I qualify them and guide them through my sales process so that I could serve them and sell them the right solution? If you come at it from that frame and you think about a specific individual that you sold to, then that allows you to really approach your marketing from a conversational standpoint instead of just talking at people or just using older style marketing that is not going to be as effective, today as it was a year, 2 years, a few years ago. And so in thinking about how you want to market effectively, focus on how do I educate my audience so they know everything about my process and I'm super clear, transparent, and detailed about what we do and how we do it. And then how do I approach the sales conversation through marketing on whatever channel you're using? How do I approach that conversation in a way that it would feel like I was sitting down and having a cup of coffee with that prospect and just answering their questions and guiding them to the right solution? When we approach our marketing that way, we see things grow because it focuses on the relational aspect that we all should be focused on of building a relationship with our audience. And that's what ultimately allows us to grow and succeed. So my encouragement to you today is focus on being the number one educator in your space, and your business will grow consistently. Because if you're focusing on education, then it's very easy to have conversations. It's very easy to break down what you do and how you do it. It's very easy just to have that natural relational conversation with those that you want to serve. I hope this has been helpful to you. If you need any input or advice or help with this, just comment down below or reach out at businessmarketingengine.com. We'd love to help and serve you, and I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's show.